Morning, welcome. Today we're going to discuss a Bitcoin once again, as there's lots of news regarding Bitcoin, but also lots of volatility. But we're still acting inside the range. Bitcoin didn't break below 28k and didn't break above 41k. You shouldn't be buying Bitcoin at 41k at this stage. You shouldn't be selling Bitcoin at 28k at this stage. As last week on this day, we've hit the actual low in the range. People were ultra negative, were expecting the markets to hit 20k, while right now, just a week after, the overall sentiment has switched and people were FOMOing into Bitcoin yesterday at 40k. We're going to discuss the charts today. Don't forget to subscribe beneath and also like this YouTube update if you enjoy the content, as we're still building the platform to the next level. Let's get to the charts, as in there's lots to discuss regarding Bitcoin alone. And we can see that we've made a very beautiful squiggly yesterday on the markets. So the squiggly that we see here is showing us the resistance where Bitcoin is at, right? So we've made the idea of, okay, we most likely will see a test of the previous highs or the range high of this resistance. The range high of this entire construction, and then we most likely will see a corrective move as the trend has shifted. So what you see in this entire move upwards of Bitcoin, we can see that we've been tapping levels through which shorts get liquidated and breakout traders step in. So yesterday the topic became, should I buy back Bitcoin at this stage? Because people want to sell Bitcoin at support. People want to buy Bitcoin at resistances. That's always how it's going to be. That's why we've experienced euphoria here. That's why we've experienced bearish euphoria in this stage too. But what we see is that we have been making lower lows and lower highs during the previous period of this construction. And as you can see, this breakout upwards to 31k was the break back up through which the trend could be shifting. And given the fact that we have cracked 35k, we've actually broken the resistance to the upside, through which the trend has shifted. We are making a new high here, which is a higher high, but we are looking for ourselves for a creation of a new higher low. So I'll just get a clean chart going here, in which we can state that we've got this range resistance that we're currently acting and we've hit, right? We've made that the red color, in which it's not likely that we're going to crack through this range resistance in one go. Given the fact that we have just made such a volatile move, what are the likely levels that we're going to see ourselves for a retest? Well, very obviously, we can find the level around 34.5 as a very interesting trigger for potential long entries. The second level that I'm currently looking at is the entire range around 32.5, which we have cracked earlier on and which we have been breaking through in one go. So those two levels are the levels that I'm looking at right now to see whether we can get a new higher low. So yes, we have made a very nice move in the past few days in which we hit a new high, but after such a new high, you can't expect the price of Bitcoin to break out of the resistance in one go. You usually will see some sort of consolidation before we can start moving upwards. And in that perspective, I also said that the levels that I'm looking at for a potential higher low are 34.5 to 36, but potentially even 32.5. These two levels are the ones that I'm looking at for potential long entries if you missed buying Bitcoin at around 30k or beneath 30k. So right now we probably are done and we're going to look at some consolidation. If we look at the lower time frames, we can get to the same conclusion as what we had previously. So this run up was made out of Tesla giving the earnings, probably some FOMO in which people were expecting to see Tesla being or holding more Bitcoin, which shouldn't make any sense, but this run-up was made out of that perspective, in which we can, if we zoom in a little bit more, can say that if Bitcoin was dropping beneath this level around 39k, it would slam dunk to the other side of the range. So this could be classified as a fake out, in which the shorts were taken above this recent high, bearish divergence was created, and from that we slam dunk to the other side of the range. We made a slight bounce upwards, but immediately broke south, rejected, and now the trend shifts to the downside. So at this point, if we look at the lower time frames, we can say that the trend has shifted a little bit. But if we look at the higher time frames, when we get to the 4-hour and the daily, the trend has shifted towards an upwards momentum. So the most likely scenario that I'll be looking at is that we get a bounce. We probably get a bounce towards 38.5 to 39.5, and from there we are going to make some sideways consolidation, get some more compression going, and then we are breaking out of this range construction through which we can break above the 200 daily MA2, but also through which we can continue the bull cycle. So in this entire structure here, we can say, okay, if we run up like this without a corrective move, everybody wants to long at this stage. So after taking the liquidity above this recent high, what's the maximum pain scenario? The maximum pain scenario is actually taking everything on the downside, which is currently the fact, as late longers should be classified for being so late. It's the same as the way that we are seeing this bounce back up. People were eager to short the markets. People were also selling Bitcoin for USDT at 29 and 31k because they are expecting the markets to drop south even more. So given the fact that the mass was expecting such a downwards move to happen, what is the maximum pain scenario? Which was a breakout to the upside, and that's what we have seen, as Bitcoin has been running up with more than 30% within a few days. Giving almost no real opportunity to long Bitcoin unless you are a day trader. And now the breakout to 40k happened, causing people to FOMO into the markets, through which they are getting crucified once again. So the lesson that I would like to give you today is watch out for the levels that are given here, or watch out for more confirmation of a support being made. For instance, if we don't drop below 35.7, that's also an opportunity or possibility. Doesn't seem likely given the structure here, but if that is the case, you need to have a little bit more confirmation, but you are going to long at lower levels than at 40k. Those are the crucial levels that I'm watching. I'm getting convinced that if we hold those levels that I've made here, especially the upper one, we are done with the correction and we are making ourselves ready for another wave in this cycle. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.